Are we back? Okay. Okay. I think this should be working now again. Okay, good. Well, that sucks. Okay. Everything is working, I think, I hope. Yeah. Let me actually do this here in this view. Okay. I also would like to attempt to do the material blending thing again. I think I did it right. So I think the last time the way I did it was I had to give it a lot of geometry for it to have worked. So let me check that again real quick. Mesh blend. Set mesh normal. There. I think this was the video.
And hack to hide seams. But that changes. With Blender 4.5 launching, we've got tons of new features, but one in particular is a game changer. The Set Mesh Normal node is here to save you a little to geometry nodes and start with the star of the show, the Set Mesh Normal. Set it to free, which means it lets you control the normals manually, without constraints. Free also means it's free on performance, no extra geometry.
Okay, let me just do this. So we select the floor, make the geometry nodes set up, set mesh normal. There we go. Free.
No modifiers, just shading magic. Now drop in an object info node. This is how we reference the second object, in my case the cylinder, so we can blend toward it. Make sure to turn on relative. That way, if you move either object, the shading still tracks correctly. Add a mix vector node. This lets us blend between two normals. A equals the normals from the target object, and B equals the normals from our current object. Connect the output of the mix node into the custom normal input on the set mesh normal node. For the B input, drop in a normal node. This gives us the current object's surface normals. For the A input, we want to sample the normals from the target object, the cylinder. So add a sample nearest surface node. Plug the geometry from the object info node into it, and add another normal node to feed into the value socket.
This feels like a lot of normal nodes plugging stuff, but
Sample node. This tells Blender, hey, grab the nearest normal from the cylinder. Connect your geometry and the target object. Out of distance, plug into a map range node. This converts the distance into a smooth 0 to 1 value, perfect for controlling the factor on our mix node.
Okay. So got the original mesh, then we got to have whatever we are trying to affect. In this case, rubble. So I'll just select this.
Adjust the from
gonna call it floor, and then drag the rubble object here, wherever that was. This. Okay, so here's that. Here's this. It's not the floor. Oh. Alright, next sample nearest surface. This, there we go. Okay. Mesh. Let's do that. So geometry to mesh, normal to value. And then we need a mix vector node. Alright, this to here, and this to here. And then geometry proximity with map range. Okay. Geometry proximity, map range. I think this was distance. Yeah. And that goes into the factor. There. And then we plug this into here. Okay, so right now it looks weird, but let me just add a bunch of cuts. Okay.
Max parameter. Distance into a smooth 0 to 1 value. Perfect for controlling the factor on our mix node.
Okay, let me just double check if I have this set up properly. So this is set to vector. I don't know if that matters too much, but I'll just do that as well. Instances in input geometry are ignored. Okay, so then that means... Okay, so I need to realize instances. Okay, that did something.
Now just adjust the from max parameter and see.
This is basically what he has. Right? Seems like it. Maybe. Alright, let me try adding more subdivision. I don't know if that's a good idea, but I'll try. Yeah, it's not really doing anything. Which is rough. Perhaps I need to... Well, it's already realized though. Yeah, I don't know. That's... Well, that's just... I think that's just merging them together. That's not really what we need here. It's supposed to like blend smoothly like this.
See the two meshes blend together. And just like that, we have two objects smooth.
Very like inconsistent when you're trying to do this, unfortunately. I guess I could try and give these a bit more detail. Maybe that will work, but I don't know. I kinda doubt it. Yeah. And it should be visible in this view, I'm pretty sure, because that's what he was doing. But it is just not wanting to work. It goes dark if you go below 0. But that's about what we get. It did set this to relative, but that doesn't fix it either. Okay, let me see if there's anything else.
Let's dive in. First, if you want, you can pause the video to see how I set up the nodes, or you can just download the geometry node for the size of the
Okay, I think I'm gonna have to check the video from here.
Hey there, Tigers! That's super.
I'm just trying to get to the point where, yeah, the nodes are. Isn't this basically what I got? Okay, so geometry proximity, map range. Okay. This seems like the same thing. Aside from this, but I had to do that, so this would work with other geometry nodes. Okay, so proximity into map range, then that goes into factor. Yep, that is the same thing. And then nearest surface, yep. And that goes into here. This person has it on tangent sphere, but that doesn't do anything for me either. which is unfortunate. Maybe I'm just gonna try to subdivide this area a lot, see if that does anything at all. Doesn't look like it though. I feel like I'm doing something specific incorrectly. I just don't know what. Okay. Okay, maybe if I do this in here, I don't know if that's a good idea, but I could try. Well, so in this case, I'd need this floor. Yeah, I don't know if that even makes sense, but I'll see. Okay. Goes into value, then we gotta mix this vector mix. That's not it. Vector. There we go. Then do this. Okay. So this both goes into proximity and nearest surface. And this one is supposed to be for just the factor. Or this mixing here. And then we plug this into here. Well, that definitely changed something. You can see. I just don't think it's doing a great job here either. But maybe it is. It's very hard to tell sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, maybe not. Okay, well, then that's alright. It's not a big deal. I can still make this work. Maybe with, like, ambient occlusion, for example. Just get this back how it was. That's not gonna work, though. Maybe just make a new plane. Yeah, that's better. Okay, for now I think I'll just focus on deciding where to put these. Maybe have some like up top right here. I don't know if that will work. I mean, it's starting to look like something, at least. Then I need, like, smaller ones, like pebbles and stuff like that on the ground. Just scattered around, I guess. So I can do that pretty easily. Just the same method, but for the floor. Sure. I mean, that could work. We need this separate, though. Okay. That's a bit much. I could also maybe do like noise here, if that's gonna work. Okay. The color. Yep, so now we got like specific areas for these. I was trying to figure out a better way for this. Yeah, I don't know if that's even working at all. I think this should work though, as is. Essentially, it does the same thing anyway, so let's just do join geometry. Okay, and now let's do the pebble here. Instances on points. Okay. Get this to be small. We also need this to be above. So like this. Then rotation and scale as well. Just do that. Okay. I guess maybe it's better if I put this afterwards, just like that, so that the rotation isn't affected by the offset. Okay. We got that now scattered. Let me check. Yeah, there's a bunch of pebbles here and there. I'll make them a bit smaller as well, and give them a darker color, probably. Okay. This up. This kind of looks a bit odd right now. So I'm thinking I could actually paint where I want it to go. I think that would be a bit better. So I'll just subdivide this. 50 maybe. Yeah, so that should be enough. And then I plug this here, right? Do this, go to vertex groups. And then we gotta pick the group, and then we just paint where we want these to go. Okay, so those are random now in color. Let's see what that looks like. Maybe let's make them darker. I just don't want them to be popping out too much. Just enough for it to kind of blend in, I think should be good. Okay. And I'm thinking of like having a separate light source for the stairs, just for the highlights. Okay. So let's do like light link, stairs, and then we add this here. I also want the temperature to be the same as the moonlight in the background. And we kind of just adjust how this looks. Could maybe also add the railing to this. Yeah, why not? And I'm also thinking maybe I make the flashlight less harsh on the edges so I could blend it in a bit more. Like that. Yeah, that's a bit better actually. I like it. More of a like a vignette to the flashlight. Looking pretty good. me just adjust the effects here. Not that threshold. Let's do like strength. No, that's not gonna do it either. No. That one light source is like way too strong, so that's why it's doing this. Yeah, it's like, alright, maybe this isn't like necessary, but just for preview purposes, I'll try to move it a bit. Okay. What if I turn up the power? It's almost as if there's like a car outside of it, and those are like the headlights. Okay. Okay, this roof also needs the texture from the wall. So let me do that. Okay. Well, that did something. Yeah. Okay, that's not doing anything. It's fine. Let's do it over here. Okay. Alright. I'm just thinking, should I add a backlight? Maybe. Move that. Oh. Oh, it's starting to come together, you know, getting there. I could try and see how this looks with ambient occlusion on the floor. Do this, that, here. mean, it could help it in post. That's a bit much though. But yeah, I don't like to use ambient occlusion within a shader because that's just bad. Like, it's not convenient. If you were to change it later, you can't really do that, like in a render. So that's why I like to do it as like a pass, so that I can control it after I have rendered the animation. Okay. Next, I want to have ivy right there on the roof as well, and also I guess like here. That one's just flying off. It's kind of funny. All right. Oh. All right. Let me try something here. This. Okay. And I don't remember how this is done exactly, but I'll try to see if I can do this. So I think it was like knife project. No other selected objects. Okay. What if I do separate this and then go here, and then I do... Oh, okay. Wait. It's supposed to like cut through it, but I don't know how to use this properly. Let me check. Blender knife project. Okay. Was way easier than I thought. Okay, so we go to this object, which we want to cut. Then we control click this object. Then just knife project, which was somewhere. Does it? Hold on. Alright. Alright, you gotta delete the faces and leave only the edges. I didn't know you had to convert that to a curve though. Interesting. Okay, let's do that. Only faces. Then convert this to a curve. Okay. I think that worked. Well, not entirely though. Oddly enough. Okay, well, let me try to maybe get rid of this somehow. That actually works, hold on. Vertex X, there we go. Okay. Yeah, that should be good. And then we can try to do this. If I can. Okay, there we go. And then knife project. I am not sure why this happens. I don't even know what's going on there. Maybe I'm supposed to align this with like the scale of this object. So perhaps like this. There's a bit of a space there, but I think that should be okay, I hope. Weird. Okay. Alright, then other method, I guess, would be to do this. That's not the greatest either, though, because then there's like these here. This is actually a bit hard to figure out, but I'll figure it out somehow. Okay, maybe if I do that. Well, this is making like cuts, right? So perhaps that's gonna help with the geometry, hopefully. I guess if I do only vertices, it should work better. Yeah. So we got that out of the way. And then maybe I just do the same thing, but horizontally. This is a bit scuffed, but if it works, it works. Okay. Honestly, I think this should work pretty well. Of course, there's a bit of an issue here, but I don't know what it is. I should have like done this beforehand, but I could just mirror it. That's also an option. So we just take this and then do that, and then we just apply it. So why is it invisible though? Over here. That's so. Or is it not invisible? I guess not. Okay. Now I can do the IV placement. Okay. That is not where we want it, but I think I can just flip it. Yep. That's good. Sorry about that. Right. I think I could like render out a frame of it and then mess around with like the effects. I'll just do ambient occlusion here. And that's pretty much all I need for now. So multi-layer, that's fine. And yeah, let's do I guess I can just do like render folder for now. Scene 1. Then this. Okay, so now I can just render this frame. This is okay for now, just for preview. Yeah, I guess we gotta wait for this though to load. I'm assuming it's because of ambient occlusion, because that's typically why it needs to load stuff before rendering. I'll just be sitting here until this initiates, and then we can go to DaVinci for post-processing effects and grading and stuff like that. I wish this process was a bit faster in general. Like, it takes way too long to load kernels. Oh, there we go. It's rendering. Did I turn on motion blur? Hold on. Yeah, it is turned on. Okay. But I think I did I have this on? Yeah. Alright, I should have not rendered this with the effects on. Let me just do the raw file like this. Okay. And then now I should have the rendered file. The folder, I guess I can just go here. There it is. Okay, so now I'll just go to DaVinci. Close this for now. Okay. Timeline, let's do, yep, that's good. And now I'll just basically put this here. Okay. Now this looks different from Blender because we need to transform it, the colors, I mean, so that they can be read properly. So we just do basis CG in this case, and then sRGB. So that's the image that we had. Then I'll just try adding like a VHS effect. How this looks. Let's not do too much of this. there should be another one that is similar but better. Not that. Chroma noise, that's not it. That's just warp. A little bit of this is okay. Yep. Okay, so this is kind of the horizontal bleed effect that I like. Let's do... what else do we have? This is like a blurrier version, which can look good too, I feel like, but we do want some sharpness. And let me just kind of reduce some things. Like the chroma is a bit much. Yeah, that's just desaturation. I would like to reduce these horizontal lines somehow. Just trying to find where that is. It's clearly somewhere here, but it could also be like up here. I'll figure it out. Can't be that, no. It's like buried somewhere here, and I just don't know where it is. Oh, hold on. I mean, that kind of affects it, but it's... oh, there you go. That's better. That's fine. Then I guess mess with this. It's looking a bit better. Okay. Now, before we even apply that, let me do other effects that are kind of necessary. Let's do this. Let's actually do so that we take this image and then we take bright parts from it, and we use those as kind of areas where the lens start should be appeared at. Let's do color curves. We take this, plug it in here. Make the darker parts dark, and then this brighter. Let's do blur. I guess you could do either or. Depends on what you like. I'm sure if it's a better idea if I do curves afterwards, though. No, not really. Okay. So here's that. Then transform. Make it scaled like that. So all we do is we blur this. Okay. Curves. And now we have these like blurry parts, you know, like dots or whatever you want to call them. Then I actually need to overlay like the scaled version of this on here. Okay, so take this and then mix it with the resize. Put this on overlay. So now all this is doing is it's mixing that with the original footage, which means it's taking the colors from it. Also, I should probably put this here instead. Yeah. I guess I could have also just used this. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay. Put this here. And then we need this. So now that's appearing. We need also luminance here, so that we are using this as our mask. Let me just tweak some settings here so it's more visible. Okay. Saturation, or I guess in this case, did brightness have? Oh, brightness and contrast. Yeah, it does have saturation actually, so we can turn that up a little bit. Okay. Curves. That's okay. Let's also maybe give the alpha a bit more contrast. Kind of like this brightness contrast. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to mess with the gain. Kind of like that. And turn this down a little bit. Be enough. Okay, that's good. And then I also want a vignette effect, which is very easy to do. Just plug this here. Okay. And then, I mean, this should be going here, right? Yeah. We just need like an ellipse, like that. Invert it, then just adjust it however you want. And then feather it. Okay, I'm not... That shouldn't be there, this should be here. There we go. So now it looks like this. 1 second. Okay. That's the vignette. And then what else do we got? This one's supposed to be here. There we go. Yeah, that doesn't exactly give it saturation the way I would like, but it is what it is. I can also tint it. That's also an option. Which I guess I will use like a color corrector node for that, and just move it in a certain color. Like this should be okay. So organize this a bit better, and then let's try it with the effects. Okay. I'm actually thinking I should separate this. So like, we should probably disable it here, and then let me try if I can do it on the adjustment clip. Fusion page. Okay. Why is there like that going on? That's a bit weird. Okay. Right, there we go. So, okay, so now I have this on an adjustment layer, which is good because I can just turn it off and on from here. But also, the reason why I wanted to do this is so that I could sandwich the grading between the original footage and the VHS effect. So now if I go here and click on this, and now I add like the enhancer. Now I can just pick like a look to it that I like. Nothing really that stood out personally, but I think the subtle ones are probably gonna be it. This just kind of brightens everything up. from what I'm seeing. Although, let's try adding halation. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Wonder if I could put a higher number here. No, not really. Okay, well that's... I mean, it's getting there, but not really there yet. Not bad. Okay, next let's do a glow, just overall. See how that looks. You know what, let me do like a very slight amount and put this on lighten here. Okay, so turn this all the way down. And then that. Well, that kind of just doesn't really do the thing I wanted to do. I think that should be okay. Just makes it look a bit more hazy. Well, this. And maybe instead of like a look, I could just do my own primary color adjustment. Let me turn off this for a second and just focus on the original. I think the VHS one just makes everything more blue. I think the halation may be a bit too strong. Okay. And I also need to add lens distortion, aka like chromatic aberration. So we can do that like here. Let's do that and then put all of these to 0. And then we just adjust it. And maybe not this. I like this one, personally. Why is this not? Oh, there we go. Just a cache issue. Okay. What else do we got here in terms of color? This might be a bit much. I'm not sure if I should add it, honestly. Okay. I will have to adjust the rubble here, obviously, but this is kind of like placeholder for now. Okay, and then maybe have some sort of contrast. Okay, well, that's not going as planned. I'm gonna try it inside of here. Film grain, turn that off, because we are already using film grain in VHS effects. Okay. I wanna like desaturate it a little bit though, I think. Okay, well a bit much. I mean, yeah, why not? Okay. What else do we got here that I could play with? Like, I like this effect, but it's a bit much, I think. I think it kind of hides a lot of things, and it makes things unclear. So you gotta use it wisely. Do a little bit of this, not too much. Tracking noise. Okay. Could I possibly reduce the colors on this? Maybe. Scanline phase shift. I don't think that's important right now. Okay. I'm torn if I like the saturated one more or if I like the desaturated one more. Not sure yet. Something like this, maybe. I don't know, what else do I do? I'm trying to think. I was trying to find this, but like there's like a line here that I'm trying to look for specifically. Tracking noise. That's okay. Value intensity. No. Maybe? Kinda, I guess. Okay, well. I think that's pretty good for now, as it is. Maybe the noise here is a bit like too bright at parts, like this white parts I think could be kind of distracting, so I could reduce that. Can't really clamp it though, but well, okay, hold on. Can't I technically use levels or something? Or what is the equivalent? Bitmap? Okay. No, that doesn't really work, does it? No. Okay, well. I know that I can clamp it if I were to have this on top and then use the enhancer's feature, but then it kind of like changes how this entire thing looks. So clamp highlights, DaVinci, or maybe like dim. You're back. I got distracted by work. That's fine. Yeah, I just restarted the stream. The power was out for a little bit, basically. Can I even do this properly? I don't know. Okay. Thinking of like the colors too. Plus side, it's 9 AM for me and I am done with work for the day. That's nice. Now you can do whatever you want to do. I think I want to reduce the tracking noise, honestly. Maybe like this. And I think that's the saturation, or rather desaturation. Yeah. So let's just move it up a bit lower. I think that's a bit better. Okay. Right, well, could also add lens dirt to this. I guess maybe this, or actually, why not? This could be a hit or miss, honestly. I don't know. Let's check. Okay. Oh, I'm getting somewhere, I guess. Not sure about that. It's gonna be very hard to notice this anyway, but I'm gonna try. Could also clamp these. There we go. Okay, well, it is what it is. I think we can also soften it. It's actually visible right there, which isn't exactly where I want it to be, so let's move it here. Although that could be something else. Yeah. On the sides should be okay though. Okay, well, not sure if I'm too happy with this just yet, but it is a start. I'm gonna try something else though. I mean, this just kind of desaturates it a little bit. That's basically it. I mean, I kind of like this too, to be honest. Just needs a bit more grain. I love the lighting. Thank you. Glad to hear that. Okay. Selection. If this is a good idea or not. Okay, well, for now, I think this is pretty good. Why is this dark now? What the hell? Hello? There we go. Okay, so I will save the image of this. I think I prefer this over, like, if I were to disable that and then put this back on. I feel like this is a bit much. So this is, I think, just enough. I'm maybe gonna mess with it more with like the colors and stuff. It looks pretty ethereal, I would say. Like dreamy almost, but also obviously like an old recording type format. Actually, you know what? I do recall some camcorders doing this type of an effect. Especially when, I think it's more of a optical flare, especially when a sunlight is directly hitting the lens. Maybe I could mix that somehow. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, I mean this is pretty much solid, I would say, for now. I don't know what else I'm gonna think of in future, but for now I like it. I'm probably gonna change like the color of this reflection. Probably. Something more like this color. Something else. That's good. Okay. Let me save this still image of this. Definitely gonna be messing around with this a bit more, the rubble and stuff, so they look a bit better. I like how the ivies came out, the plants and stuff, like this one hanging over here. And I also like the lighting right there coming through the window or the doors. That's pretty cool. I gotta give this window some material as well. There, because right now it's just plain. And this one too. But yeah, I think Blender Kit has some good rubble objects. That's not a bad idea. I could also check that. But I just kind of want to just make it on my own, you know? Yeah, I don't know, I think I've done a good chunk of work today. I don't think I can do any more for now. But yeah, this is what it looks like right now. Pretty good. I like making everything myself, yeah. I mean, it's a learning experience, and I like learning. So, but yeah. Getting there. Also, this is one of 3 locations, or I guess areas in this building that I'm gonna be making. So once I'm done with this one, then I gotta do like an upstairs hallway, and then after that I gotta do like a bedroom, and all of them have to be kind of broken down, like dilapidated, looking like this, like overgrown with plants and stuff. So yeah. But yeah, this is gonna be like a stinger animation, like a transition from a scene to a scene for like a stream asset. Yeah. I think it's gonna be fun once it's finished. So I think I'll end it for now. I'll continue it later. But yeah, thanks for watching, whoever did, and I'll see you actually tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm making a Cryptcast backdrop. And that story that I'm doing a backdrop for is pretty long. So there's a bunch of details that I'll have to do. But yeah, it'll be fun. So yeah, see ya tomorrow. Bye bye.